Welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, and we are going to be reviewing the game between Barca and Getafe, having a look through the highlights, having a look at some analysis on this particular game. And I say highlights, for us Barca fans today, there is anything but highlights in this game. And to be perfectly honest with you, we hardly created any chances to note whatsoever. A lot of the attacks in this video come from Getafe. They really did expose our makeshift centre-back pairing. But in general today, it wasn't the defence that gave us the issues. It was going forward. We failed to create. We failed to really hold down any sort of pressure on Getafe. And that was really, really poor from my point of view. And before we get into the highlights of this match and having a closer look at really where it fell down for us today against Getafe at the Cup, let's take a quick look at the match stats from today's game. And you can see there we had more shots than Getafe on the day. 12 attempts on goal to their 10. 6 of those from our point of view were on target, but to be honest, you've got to take into account 2 of those Coutinho long range efforts from outside the box. Messi had 2 efforts from outside the box late on which were denied by the goalkeeper, so a lot of those coming from distance, not really chances of such clear cut chances anyway. A lot of fouls from Getafe, and the referee didn't give out enough yellow cards. 3-2 it was on the day, but a lot of fouls early on Lionel Messi. A massive 79% possession we finished the game with, and if you look at the passing stats, that's also very much in our favour. 775 passes were attempted from us today, 681 of those executed. Only 115 passes executed today for Getafe. But to be honest, from my perspective today, it was passing for passing's sake at times. It wasn't a lot of penetrating passes, it wasn't a lot of good creative balls in the final third. It was passive play, it was lethargic, and that's what we're going to see in these highlights and where it really broke down for us today against Getafe in the game that we really should have won. Valverde lining up with Ter Stegen, Alba, also Sergio Roberto, Mina, also then Digne alongside him, so a makeshift back four. But like I say, that wasn't really the issue today. In midfield, Rakitic played, Busquets alongside him, Iniesta was on the bench and rested, Semedo once again left out of the team. Thankfully in this game, Gerard Piqué wasn't risked. Dembele and Iniesta, they're both coming on later in the game. Coutinho from the start, playing from that left-hand side, but also in the lineup today, Paco Alcácer. And in terms of the way that we already started the game, I think it was a slow start, and I say that because in our last few league games, it's been exactly the same sort of story. In the first half, we tend to start the game slowly. You could see straight away Getafe were going to try and target the centre of our defence. There was a few really nervy moments with Ter Stegen. That was magic though, from him, to be fair there. Angel closing him down, but fantastic footwork as always. But even here, look, we were caught out very, very early on inside the first minute and a half. That was a really, really close offside. Sergio Roberto does really well there to get himself up level with the rest of them and just about catch Getafe offside there. But that was really close. You can see what Getafe were trying to do, get in behind. We were trying to play a high line, but even from the first start, it was poor. Yerry Mina, they're trying to play at the back. In general, I thought that he played very well and his performance was good. He was good on the ball, but we were caught out a few times like that. You can see here, Getafe very close once again to making their way through. And in the early exchange, there was no doubt about the team who were really chumming and trying to get onto this occasion. It was Getafe. They were the ones in that first half who were posing the threat, who were coming forward, who weren't afraid to create, and they really did that. A lot of space we got down this right-hand side. Sergio Roberto is pretty much on his own out there, but unfortunately for us, there wasn't really enough times where Alcácer joined him. We didn't really have any link-ups. Here we had an offside moment with Luis Suarez. That was one of many that happened throughout this game. It goes right across to Jordi Alba, who I thought on the day there was a few times he kept playing the same ball over and over again, looking for Messi, as we've seen the brilliant moments this season, but today it didn't really happen for him. Luis Suarez here linking up with Coutinho, putting that one wide, but thankfully he was offside. But it was a miss there from Suarez, something that we saw as the game went on. Again here, look, the ball goes over Rakitic and suddenly it's a one-on-one. That should never be the case. Mina doesn't quite close him down there. The effort just goes wide from Angel. But you can see again there, Getafe exposing us at the centre of defence. Mina left one-on-one. That shouldn't have happened. A lack of support there at defence. And with one pass here, and it was a simple case of us again just playing the ball around. There was no pressure at all. There was no sort of urgency in our play. And suddenly then one ball from Getafe and we're caught out. One simple ball over the top. And that's what it was today. There was too much from us messing around with it, playing passive football. There wasn't enough quality. That was the one moment of absolute brilliance. And you can see how annoyed there Luis Suarez is. And that's simply because it was a wonderful finish. It was an absolutely wonderful goal. Messi puts it in. It's a great ball into the box. Suarez hitting it on on the first time volley, it would have been one of the goals of the season for absolute sure to finish it off like that, but sadly ruled offside, and I have to say it was probably the correct decision. Suarez lingering offside as he does, he plays right on the shoulder. Coutinho had a few of these. There was one here which Guaita catches quite simply from distance, and that's where I thought it might come. Coutinho from that kind of range, maybe we could finally break the deadlock in that way. He has one later on though, you'll see, which is a lot better. I think Alcácer there should have been running across the box there to get onto that from Sergio Roberto. He's going to be breaking his neck there to go and get into that. Suarez here, that was really close. That was a nice bit of play. The only time really that we saw Paco Alcácer come inside where he's a lot more comfortable, and he actually linked up well with Suarez. Very similar to when they linked up against Villarreal. Both of them down the centre. Alcácer with a little deft touch here. Really nice little ball. Suarez keeps himself onside, but he's got to stretch for it. That was so close to being the opener. And I have to say, that's probably just about as close as we came. All game long, that there was probably the best chance that we had. But like I say, Coutinho did have a few of those from outside the box. One early on was saved by Guaita. He picks another one up here. I think the ball is coming into him from Ivan Rakitic. He just shifts it out of his feet. And again, he's looking round the corner just to bend that one. That's a much better effort. Guaita, who played very well to be fair to him, ex-Valencia goalkeeper, gets down well to his left just to save that one. Messi had a few. He came inside a bit more as the game went on. He got a bit closer to the goal, but you can see him here. He's having to resort to outrageous passes just to break down Getafe. There wasn't really many runners beyond the defence for Messi to pick out today. He likes to pick the ball up deep. He likes to play it in behind, but today we didn't really see enough of that. Paco, like I say, came inside later on, but in that first half he was stuck out wide. There was nothing really on there. Suarez was offside a lot of the time. Jordi Alba today failed to really find his A game, and there were moments again in the second half. This was one moment I thought that was in. Antunes smashing that one on the volley. Really good attempt from Getafe, going over the bar, completely unmarked, coming in there from the corner. Probably hits that really well. If that's on target, Ter Stegen probably has no chance. So again, Getafe coming forward, posing a threat, having another shot on goal, and in that kind of period there, we were absolutely all at sea. Another really close attempt here. Getafe flashing one across Ter Stegen's goal, and that was a period in the game where I just felt like if we concede now, we're going to lose this game, because we didn't look like scoring. We did at times look like conceding. Mina tries to close him down here. Ter Stegen has probably got it covered. Messi from free kicks didn't really do an awful lot today. He had a few free kicks in and around the area. Wasn't quite his day, but that could be said for any one more player on that pitch. You know, it wasn't really the day for any of us today. Nobody in front of goal looked particularly confident today. And like I said, the way we looked most dangerous for absolute sure was with that man Yerry Mina. He's a massive guy. He's very tall, and I'm thankful that we finally have somebody who we can maybe use from corners and free kicks, and that was where we posed our threat today. Dembele it is here with the ball in. Mina climbs highest, and that was another moment. That was probably the other closest moment in the game that we came to scoring. I thought that was in. It's a really good header. He heads it down into the ground. It's got good pace on it. You can see his leap there. Fantastic effort from Yerry Mina, who I think, to be fair to him, debut at the Camp Nou, not ideal conditions, but he's done very well to be fair to him. Busquets here picking the ball up, plays it out wide. Lionel Messi had a few of these as the game went on the last 10 minutes. That effort there forcing Guaita into a save. I just think Alva maybe a little bit more there. Could have played that across the box to Suarez if he's thinking about it. Another effort here from Lionel Messi. That was a stinger as well, but Guaita catching that one out the air. So in the end, you can see with Coutinho, with Lionel Messi, we were forced basically to start shooting from outside the box, which this season we have never done. We never really resort to outside the box shots, but that's what we did today. Getafe defended very resolutely. We were unable to break them down. We were unable to really create anything from inside the box, and it was poor from us. It has to be said today, it was a poor display. The Iniesta came on, Dembele came on. Both of them tried to have an impact, but to be honest, in the last sort of 10 minutes of the game, all we were doing is getting the ball, crossing it into the box, and hoping for the absolute best. And in the end, it didn't come off, and it was simple as that today. We didn't really do enough to get ourselves across the line to score a goal. Getafe could have got the goal themselves. So I think in the end, a draw, to be honest, is probably a fair result here. Both teams had efforts on goal. We couldn't break Getafe down. It's more drop point for us following on from that Espanyol game. We dropped points in that game. We've dropped points in this game. Our gap at the top now is down to 7 points, which, don't get me wrong, is still a great position to be in, but we don't want to keep doing this. We've got to rectify it now. We've got to look at ourselves. We've got to say, what can we do better? And the good thing is now, Valverde has 6 days till we play Eibar. He has a good amount of time to get on the training field, to look at where we're going wrong, to assess the situation, and most importantly as well, get the likes of PK back fit. Obviously, Umtiti comes back in next game. His suspension is over. So we've got some time now to recover, to look at where we can do better, and I really hope that we can do that, because we've got Chelsea just around the corner, because we don't really want to be making those kind of mistakes, playing in this kind of lull that we're currently in. We're not really impressing. We're not really showing any urgency. We're not showing any fight, any creativity. We need to start showing what we were showing a few weeks ago, when we were destroying Real Sociedad, when we were ripping apart Real Betis. That kind of cutting edge in the final third is what we need and what we crave right now. We need to get that back, and it's over to Ernesto Valverde to once again work the magic that we've seen so far this season, but in the last few weeks that's gone missing. Get that back, and we will once again be a force. I'm sure of it. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Not an awful lot to look at in terms today of chances created or even goals, but I hope this video was still enjoyable for you. Please let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. I'll have more videos coming up in the very near future looking at this game and looking, of course, ahead to the big games that we have coming up. I will see you very, very shortly indeed. But until then, as always, Vesca El Barça!